HCAM News is supported by our viewers and by Hopkinton Drug, located in this historic New England town since 1954. They are a multifaceted store dedicated to providing clients with an array of healthcare options.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's edition of HCAM News. Coming up, Hiller Sports started the fall playoff season, and also the Hopkinton DPW hosted a PFAS meeting, and we have scenes from the annual Hopkinton Veterans Day services. But first, the Hopkinton Center for the Arts hosted their annual gala.
Welcome, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. So happy to see all your shining faces here. Thank you so much for coming. I am Kelly Grill. I am the Executive Director of the Hopkinton Center for the Arts, and we want to welcome you to our seventh annual gala. And this year is our Celebrity Spotlight on the Arts, so it's kind of a gala with a twist. And we're so excited to welcome you back to this event in person. That was wonderful, and thank you for all of your accommodating us to be here in person. We love that. And I first want to thank everyone who helped bring this evening to life, and first to the Lotvins for making this evening possible. Thank you to the Lotvins. And also to our corporate partners for Famel Fine Homes, J.C. Parmenter, and Hopkinton Independent. Thank you so much for making this. And also a thank you to the board, my incredible staff, and the volunteers for all your hard work, with a special shout out to Hannah Forsyth, our amazing event planner. Thank you, Hannah. And finally, a big thank you to Middlesex Bank for being our 10-year birthday sponsor all year, not just tonight, but all year. It's hard to believe. It's been a decade since we opened our doors, but you have always been there, right there with us. Thank you, Middlesex Bank. And to celebrate, we put together a little video for you tonight to highlight what has happened over the last 10 years. Thank you.
Inside, so empty inside. And is this all there is? 'Cause I've seen this before. And is this all there is? 'Cause got to be more. Please tell me there's more. Breathing out all my bad habits. The worst one I got is you. Well, you will believe to see believe, but I do believe I hear from you any day or two.
The American Legion Post 202 hosted their annual Veterans Day services to honor our nation's heroes. Here's a look.
My grandfather didn't share his story until much later in his life, but according to my uncle, everything your grandfather did was filtered through his experiences over there. This is a direct quote from my grandfather's article. He wrote about the battle, not to boast about my military exploits, nor to attempt to impress others with my bravery. I was totally frightened every second I was on that hill, or even as an excuse to practice my war story expertise, but to attempt to remind others of the horrors of war and to acknowledge the brave men who fought to preserve democracy so far from home. On the hill, there were heroes everywhere. I'm sure many of you have similar stories of bravery, and I imagine that the idea of service beyond the individual is something that resonates with a lot of people in this room today. It is clear that my grandfather believed in the power of the individual to contribute to the whole. It's nowhere near the same level, but I personally chose to pursue a career in public affairs because it gives me the opportunity to participate in the growth of my hometown and the district as a whole. And I do not doubt that most service members share this desire to champion a better neighborhood, a better country, and a better world.
Aside from thank yous that I hope you're showered with often. I remember about 25 years ago, a family was hosting a gathering for our baseball team, and the dad said to me that he was really envious of me because I was a teacher and a coach. I looked around at his $1 million house and realized that my wife and I were crammed into a 2-bedroom with 2 kids, and I didn't really understand why he envied me. He needed to take a closer look, I thought, but I get it. I'm a regular now at Boston College hockey games, and they always honor veterans at every game and have a wounded warrior stand up, and it's a moving time. And when I look at the men and women who stand, it's envy that I feel. I'm sure their lives are far from perfect, as many of yours, but they and many of you have accomplishments that I could never, ever understand. So my message is obviously not going to be about courage. I teach and coach in Hopkinton. It's not exactly a resume that inspires people to greatness. But what I can offer is sincere gratitude and a promise to never take what you've done for granted. Better yet, I hope I can convey the same message of appreciation to my students who are inundated with a lot of conflicting messages today about our country and our institutions.
To die for one's country is, of course, the ultimate sacrifice. But to live for your country is another kind of sacrifice, a lifelong sacrifice, as in the discipline of good citizenship. Our nation and, of course, our community has become the pinnacle of civilization, owing so much to those who have served before us. We must honor their deeds and bravery by working together to scale new heights of achievement in unity and purpose, in sacrifice for the common good, tolerance for those of different faiths and creeds, and bravery to fight for social and economic gains. Yes, these are the disciplines of good citizenship. Each generation hands over the keys of freedom to the next, apprehensive that this inherited freedom will be taken for granted or will not be appreciated because it was not earned, or will not be defended because it no longer seems important. Most likely, these thoughts became the inspiration to create an occasion of reflection and gratitude. As such, Americans conceived of Veterans Day as a celebration to honor our servicemen and women for their efforts in safeguarding the doctrine of independence of our nation. The original concept of Veterans Day was to promote peace, world peace, while a lofty and probably unrealistic goal still needs to be our perpetual objective. Surely the battle between good and evil has been and continues to be the eternal human conflict. Every one of us should be willing to participate in the effort to secure and maintain a peaceful world, each contributing by using their own unique God-given talents.
We're going to take a quick time out on this edition of HCAM News. A whole lot more ahead. Stay tuned.
HCAM programming is supported by our viewers, thank you, and by Phipps Insurance Agency, representing companies such as MapFree Insurance. Their family-owned independent agency is deeply rooted in the communities they serve and offer time-tested insurance products to fit individual needs. Since 1950, Phipps Insurance specializes in home, auto, business, condo, and renters insurance.
Welcome back to HCAM News. Hiller boys and girls soccer, as well as the girls volleyball team, entered the playoff season. Here's a look at the latest Hopkinton Hillers highlights.
On Friday, October 29th, Hiller boys soccer had their regular season finale against Westwood. The Hillers would draw first blood in the first half.
Looking for Golombiewski, driving in. Off of Golombiewski, a live ball, shot, score, Hillers! Sean Golombiewski makes it 1-0 at 27:48 left to go in the first half.
In the second half, the Hillers added more.
It's going to be a corner for the Hillers. Ito will take it. Or will he? Let's see. Send in to Ito from Schnorr. Back to Schnorr. In front of the net. And it is put in. And that was Shaw. Ryan Shaw with the goal. Gilly matched up with Roberts. Works his way in, out in front. Schnorr, shot, goal! And the Hillers lead it 3-0. What a great setup by D. McKelly as Schnorr pops it in.
Hopkinton took the 3-1 victory over Westwood and finished regular season play at 13 wins, 4 losses, and a tie. On Thursday, November 4th, 13th-seeded Hopkinton took on 19th-seeded Neshoba. Neshoba struck first.
Into the box, shot, it's in! Jack Slade with the first score for Neshoba.
Later in the first half, the Hillers responded.
Kelly into the box, and a header and in by Basington! Well, what do you know? Neshoba scored off a header earlier, and now the Hillers respond.
Just over 15 minutes left in regulation, and this happens.
Airs it out. Brown. Over to Pomacchio. Golombiewski sneaks through. Sends it out. Shot. Goal, Hillers! Owen Schnorr puts it in! And the Hillers take the lead!
Hillers struck again and captured the 2-1 win, and they move on to face Holliston in the final 16. On Friday, November 5th, undefeated third-seeded Hillers met up with 30th-seeded Danvers. Steve Sweetapple and Matt Clancy on the call.
That's not the first time Allen's been hit. Won't be the last. And that's long. Side out. Hopkinton takes the first set, 25-14. Still set point. A floater. Sam gets to it. Catherine, KP, that's it. Hopkinton takes the second set, 25-14 for a 2-0 lead.
Great winning.
24-11, match point. Furlong back in. Simpson serving. And she serves it long. That's it. Hopkinton takes the third set, 25-11 for a 3-0 sweep of the Falcons.
The Hillers took the game via sweep and advance on to the final 16 with the win. Hillers football hosted Newton North in Week 9 non-playoff action. The Hillers fell 26-14 in the game. Hopkinton now stands at 3-6 overall. On Saturday, November 6th, Hillers girls soccer fell 2-0 on the road to Brookline in tournament play. The girls end their season at 10 wins and 9 losses. Congratulations to the team on a great season. The Hillers have announced Nick Grout is the new Dover-Sherborne-Hopkinton Co-op girls hockey coach. Nick is a teacher at Dover-Sherborne High School and previously coached the team for 9 years. Welcome to Dover-Sherborne-Hopkinton Co-op, Nick Grout.
The town of Hopkinton recently hosted a PFAS informational meeting. Here's a look.
The town of Hopkinton hosted a PFAS public informational meeting. Here's a look.
I think you'll figure out, fabric treatments, like if you have something that you spray on your furniture that makes it water resistant, if you have a hiking jacket that is water resistant, things that are paper coatings on like takeout containers that you get from a salad bar that are waterproof, they don't leak through, or grease proof, ski wax, floor wax, all of these different things. Most notably, the firefighting foam that's known as aqueous film forming foam, AFFF, was used in a lot of fires, particularly around military bases, and that's been a large part of the PFAS contamination that's been found in public water supplies all across the country and here in the central region in Massachusetts. We have, unfortunately, the distinction of all the 4 regions of DEP having the most PFAS sites by far. The communities or public water systems that have PFAS contamination for a variety of reasons, some of which is the proximity to Devons up in the northern part of the region. So most Americans, because of all of these consumer-related products, have been exposed to PFAS through drinking water, but also through these consumer products. Next slide. So the exposures of concern for PFAS, this is why we're regulating PFAS. Some of this information you saw in the public education materials that John talked about that were sent out on October 1st, but I know people have a lot of questions about the public health aspects of this. So I wanted to go into a little more detailed information about the exposures to certain sensitive groups. And as it was noted in the public education materials, those groups are pregnant women, nursing mothers, infants, and immune compromised people who are drinking and cooking with contaminated water in a residential setting. This is why we regulate the PFAS chemicals that we regulate. We regulate 6 of the longer chain. They have more of those carbon bonds, and the science has shown that the longer chain PFAS are the more toxic. So these are some of the health effects that led Mass DEP to come up with both the drinking water standard and a groundwater cleanup standard.
You can see the entirety of the meeting on our YouTube page, youtube.com/HCAMTV.
It's time to tell you about some happenings in town you should know about. The Hopkinton Country Club Charitable Foundation is hosting a Roaring 20s evening on Saturday, November 20th at 6:30 p.m. at the Hopkinton Country Club. For more information, you could head over to hopkintonccf.org. Sponsor a family for Thanksgiving, brought to you by Project Just Because. Help families in need this Thanksgiving. For more information, visit projectjustbecause.org/Thanksgiving. Our picture of the week, the Hopkinton High School senior class had their annual Halloween costume contest. You can see a whole lot of photos at our seeninhopkinton.org. Upcoming town government meetings include on Monday, November 15th at 7 p.m., we'll have the Planning Board live on HCAM TV. And then on Tuesday, November 16th at 6 p.m., we'll have the Select Board live on HCAM TV. For all the upcoming town government meetings, head over to hopkintonma.gov. Believe it or not, we are out of time for this edition of HCAM News, but don't worry, next Thursday at 6:30 p.m., we'll be back. For everyone at HCAM, I'm Tom Nappy. Thank you for joining us. Take care, enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll talk to you again soon. And don't forget to stay up to date on Hopkinton. Check out our website, www.hcam.tv.
Bocce match today. Can you tell us what the rules are?
Sure, Tom. Everyone's on edge right now because it's, ANSI time. It's kind of like the Super Bowl beginning. But the rules are pretty much the same as before. If you look closely, there's a mid-point line on the bocce court. And when we start with the palino, it has to be thrown beyond the midpoint.
All right, so welcome into the Bocce Challenge 2021. We got the Hopkinton Police Department, the Hopkinton Fire Department, and of course, the seniors of the Hopkinton Senior Center, all represented today. All right, Chief, so we got the annual police and fire bocce match going as it starts to pour rain on us.
Typical day, Tom.
Now, did you guys practice in the rain to get ready for this?
No, we let the police practice. We felt we were pretty good at it.
And what was your recruiting method for the team this year? Did you have tryouts or anything like that?
No, it was just volunteering. You can probably kind of tell by the way we're looking here.
Well, right now police are up. If you guys think you can make a comeback?
Oh, yeah, we definitely can make a comeback. We're just letting them win a little bit so they don't want to cheat on us.
All right, and I know with being a new fire chief, this has the bocce event has to be the most pressure you get in that job, right?
Absolutely, for this week.
That's the game. Police are going to take it. You took the victory out there today. Did you have a lot of practices leading up to this event?
Well, unfortunately, coming off our championship in 2017, we dropped it to the fire department. Then obviously COVID kicked in. We didn't play last year, so we came back. We put it on each individual member of HPD to do their own practicing. We couldn't get a team practice in. But first round, we played the fire department. They're very formidable, but I believe the final score was 11-4. So they got some more. So just a reminder from 2017, the champion bocce. I believe we beat the fire department in the final. So I know they're coming back with some vengeance. It's just the first round. It's the first game, but we look forward to playing the seniors and then playing the fire department again.
So Keep Moving is going to come away with the 11-9 win over the seniors. And they will advance on to take on the Hopkinton Police Department in the championship round. The nicest weather, but we got the bocce match in at least so far anyway.
You know, weather does not hold the seniors down. We are out here to, well, I guess last year, COVID won, but the year before it was the seniors. So we've come back to make sure the seniors are ready to take on, I guess it's the police this year.
All right, what is the Keep Moving program?
So Keep Moving is just one of the ideas, initiatives that we talk about. It's so important to keep moving. And so we've been using that as our show, and we put it on our clothes that we have, people can buy, but it's, exercise, getting involved. It's all about staying involved and keeping moving and not just sitting back doing nothing. And there's plenty you can do sitting. You can knit, you can quilt, all of that if you don't want to be super active, but there's a lot of ways just to keep your thought, your physical body moving. That's how we keep going.
Absolutely. It's a great program you got going. So what else is happening at the Hopkinton Senior Center?
Well, we have, we're all back in with everything going on right now. So all our exercise, all our art classes are going again. We have our dining room open 5 days a week so people can come and get meals. So what you saw before COVID from 2 years ago is what you're going to see here now. And we're as safe as we can be. Again, we ask people if you're, not vaccinated to wear a mask. But we are picking people up. We're driving them to shopping centers and wherever they need to go. We're just back. We're doing everything. So we want to have you come on down. It is great to see those who've come back, and we hope more of you will come every day. Again, I think we're just about where we were before.
Well, that's terrific. It's good to see everything coming back. And who are we going to have in this third match? Is it the winner of this versus the police?
It will be. So we have two senior teams. We have a group that comes and plays every week here. And then we have another team put together who have not played together. So this is a new thing for them.
All right. Well, thanks for hosting this event and doing all the great programs that you guys do here at the Senior Center.
Thank you, and like I said, come on down, check us out. We've got so much going on. You can't miss on any day.